Hello. So, on the topic of bash read-only functions, quite specific, I know, um, I was asked, is there really no way to get rid of them once you've set them as read-only? Now, first I should probably point out that it is just for the lifetime of that shell. So if you close the window and open up a new one, it's fine, you don't have it anymore. Um, but I think what he was getting at more was, is there really no way to get rid of it programmatically once it's been set? I mean, how would you abuse this? So, how to subvert a bash read-only function? I have found a way. It's not nice. Well, of course it's not nice. I'm subverting a read-only function. But you can use an alias to do it. It's very risky to do that, though. So, in bash, there is a order of precedence for resolving commands. First off, it tries to find an executable in your path with that name. But if there's a function with the name, then that takes precedence. And then beyond that, if there's an alias with that name, then that takes precedence over the function. So it's aliases first, functions, and then executables all the way down. Now you can leverage that to point the call in a different way. You can't get rid of the underlying read-only function, that stays, but you can alias its name to something else. So to demonstrate, if I have a function foo, and it's just going to echo foo, and I have a function bar, shocker, okay, and foo is read-only. Yeah, actually read-only also works. I can now try and unset foo. No, it's a read-only function. Okay, so if I call foo, I get foo. But if I alias foo to bar, when I call foo, I get bar. Now, that works here because this is an interactive shell. It would not work in a shell script unless you set the expand aliases shell option. That option is on by default for interactive shells, so when you open a window, a terminal window, and you get a shell there, that will have it. You've got all the aliases, things like LL for the directory listings, that kind of stuff. But for a basic shell that's just going to interpret a script that you give it, or not a login shell basically, it's not going to have aliases turned on by default unless you turn them on. Now if we have a look at a script, here's one I wrote earlier. This is essentially the same thing. We have foo, it's read-only. We have bar, we alias foo to bar. If we don't explicitly turn on the expand aliases option first, when we run it, our call to foo yields foo. But if we turn on expand aliases and call it, foo now yields bar. Don't do this though. Don't do this. It's just dangerous. Dangerous. It'll end badly. It'll end in tears, and you'll get no sympathy from me. Have a good one.